Okay, so talk to me about what impact PI has had on your business since you've implemented the tool.
PI's had a huge impact on our business in terms of helping employees understand what makes them tick, and just having some people have been really amazed about, firstly, how quickly it is. It's not one of those really long, cumbersome, confusing behavioural assessment tools. It's just a quick tick box and really profound insights. I love how they read the reports and go, oh my God, this is so me. It's like, yes, because you tick those words. But it's created a real talking point around the business of, hey, what are you? Are you a maverick? Are you a chameleon? Whatever it is. And it just creates that little bit of a buzz around the business, but it helps people to understand each other more as well. So we have the placards on our desks. We've recently created mugs with the profile icon on them.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. And again, it just creates those talking points. The thing I love about it is that everybody is awesome. Every difference has its benefits, and it's not about saying, oh, you need to improve in this way. It's just helping them to understand each other. So that's been a big thing for us. We've used it in our exceptional performing team programs to take it to the next level of understanding, and people loved it. And then, of course, recruitment. So this was the added benefit for us that we weren't originally anticipating or looking for, but it's helped us write the ads with really clear wording for individuals. It's helped us give the right interview questions for individuals, and to challenge them if there's a bit of a disconnect, because it's a two-way street to say, hey, look, this is what the role is requiring. Your profile says this. How do you feel about that? How have you worked in those situations before? And so just being able to be really clear, and then the flow onto that is onboarding. It helps the manager know what that person's all about, how to get them up to speed quickly, and what their watch outs might be.
Yeah, I really like that. And it's not that you use it as a yes or no tool. It's not that you've got to have the perfect profile. It's more of a risk management of, okay, if you take person A with manager B, this is how they're going to work together, or, manager C, manager D.
And I think I remember calling you up in the early stages going, but Adele, our favourite candidate's really wrong. What do we do? And I remember you saying that you can still hire them, but just remember these.
Okay, so what has been the best outcome or the biggest impact since you've purchased the PI license?
Okay, biggest impact is, I think, everybody understanding themselves and others. So it's how they're communicating with each other. Also, how meetings. There's that really great tip sheet of if you've got these types of people in your team, this is the type of meeting you should be holding. Do you need to give people pre-reading to be prepared for a meeting, or are these people the ones that like to just brainstorm and talk it out? So that's been really helpful and really lifted people's interaction with each other. Recruitment has been outstanding at onboarding. I don't think we've had a failed onboard since we've taken PI on board, but we've been using PI, so it's been great there. And I really think, although we've only just started using the design tool, I think that's going to be amazing as well.
Okay, so earlier on this year, pre-COVID, I did come and have a chat to you about one of the new solutions, so the design part of the tool, which was the strategy assessment. Mm-hmm. So 2 questions. Firstly, what prompted you, because you jumped on that straight away and went, yeah, we want in, and purchased the tool, so thank you. But then how have you found using that tool, and what's been the process like? What's been the process?
Yeah, so when we saw the design tool, we just loved the simplicity of it, and that they were able to have that the bottom-up approach rather than just being a top-down. We have cascading goals, which do come from top-down, and then all of our goals flow on from there. But it was great to then have the initial insight, and we were about to kick off our goal-setting process, and just fell in love with it. Previously we've had strategic consultants come in and offsites with our senior leadership team to develop and evolve their strategy, to make it something that's really understandable for every level of the business, and that's cost a huge amount of money, overly complex, and this was just so simple. We went, yes, please.
Yeah. And how did your leaders find this process?
They loved it. So it was funny, actually. There's one leader that had to follow him up a few times. And then when he finally did it, it was like, oh, if I'd known it was only going to take 10 minutes, I would have done it ages ago. But they did. They loved it. Some of them had already started formulating their strategy, but then they went, yep, look, now we've incorporated what the team has suggested. And it just makes everybody much more engaged in the goals that they're completing.
Yeah, it's taking people on that journey, isn't it? And you haven't just done it with the top leaders, you've done it with each division and each team, haven't you?
That's right, yeah. So in differing levels, so some teams that are smaller teams, it's gone right down to every single person in their team. Others that are bigger teams, we've just gone with the middle managers to complete the survey, and they're the voice of their staff for those bigger teams.
So as a result, did leaders adjust any of their strategies, or did it challenge any of their thinking?
Absolutely. So yes, almost all of our leaders have adjusted their strategies in some form. We were at the start of that process, but some had already created a lot of their strategy. But having that input and going, oh, okay, this is actually what our team members are saying, let's incorporate some of that in there. And there was also a lot more around the people side of it, which was really great to see. So almost everybody, rather than going from we need to get that number, have gone, okay, we need to develop our staff in this way. This is what they're asking for, which is great to see from a HR side.
What was the reaction when you showed the visual and overlaid the aggregated team behaviours?
Yeah, it's a lot of aha moments of, oh, wow, okay, we didn't realise that person was across the board, or that we're missing this link completely. So but how we spoke about it as with all of PI, it's okay, it's not about saying you're defective in that space. It's saying, okay, where do you need to outsource? Where do you need to go and tap into the skills of other parts of the business so that you can achieve what you need to achieve?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've found that. I think people have been relieved sometimes when they've seen it and gone, that's why, it's really difficult for me. And because I go back to my comfort zone, which isn't this area. So for me, it's, that aha moment has also been a bit of relief sometimes.
Yeah, relief is a big one too, definitely. That, okay, now I get why we operate in this way or why we're like that. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously this is a tool you've had since 2018 now. How are you measuring the success of the platform?
Mm-hmm. So success of the platform has been predominantly around, well, there's a few factors. So there's the engagement survey results that have significantly increased over time for us. The last survey we did was 14, and then it was 48%. In 2019, it jumped to 70%. And then in 2020, we're at 74%. So we're constantly increasing as we embed more and more, which we're really excited about. And we do put that down to, obviously there's other factors, but I believe predictive index is a huge factor in that, of rolling that out to the business. Secondly, as I mentioned before, our hires have all been onboarded fantastically, gone through their probation period. We haven't had any dud hires since implementing PI, which is brilliant. And the third piece is we haven't had to use those very expensive strategic consultants to help us with our design piece this year. So that's been a financial benefit for us as well.
Sorry to all the strategic consultants out there. So when you first purchased the tool, how did you actually find the implementation process?
Yes, look, it was fantastic. The system itself, although it was just being launched, a new system was just being launched, it was really intuitive and easy to jump on board. I remember Alex going and logging 1 million assessments in the first night that we had it because she was so excited. But then we had the accreditation training, which all of HR did, as well as some key champions throughout the business. And that really helped with embedding. And the 2 days was really solid in terms of making sure that we were really comfortable in using the tool, answered all of the questions that we needed to make sure that we were 100% on board. And then the behind the scenes, if we ever had a question, and when we were doing our first debriefs or recruitment and those sorts of things, Adele and the team were always there to be able to answer our calls and give us some advice. which is great.
Awesome. And you were one of those awesome clients that really took on board, if we're going to train people, we're going to train people properly. And you didn't just train one or two people in HR. You did get some key players out of the business. Can you give me your reasons behind that? Why did you get those? Why was it important to get those champions in the business?
Yeah, so you don't want this to be just a HR-led initiative. Anything that is going to be a company-wide program really needs to have those people that can sell it and say, yeah, this is great, this is what we're doing, and be able to just answer questions if somebody has seen their profile and go, oh, I don't quite get why that is, or they can just talk them through it from a different perspective.
Okay, so back in 2019 as well, we put a lot of your salespeople through the customer focused selling program, which is a sales program, but very backed by the science of the PI tool and the information. How have your salespeople found that, and what benefits have you found from those?
Yeah, so the CFS program was such a different sales training program to anything else. We rolled out a couple of different programs in my time here, but what people loved about it was that it wasn't just on sales, it was also on their personality styles as well, and their drivers. So, okay, because you're this is how you sell. And your workshops, Adele, were brilliant. People resonated with you. They were energized by how you delivered and took so much out of those programs. So, yeah, I can't recommend it highly enough.